and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, hope you enjoyed that brutal Odyssey. I do apologize for the downtime, but we are back. We are here in the round of 16, and we are jumping in mid-series. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Sylphid, we have the red Terran player representing 3D Clan. It is MilkiCow. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, as this is a 3-player spawn map, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran. It is Kiwian. Let me just quickly set up his color. Bam, there we go. We are jumping in mid-series. Again, we were waiting for game 1 to conclude. That is why there was so much downtime, but now we are here. We are back. Game 1 did go the way of Kiwian. Kiwian is leading the series 1-0, but it was a very long game, very back and forth. I'm ready. I'm excited to see how close it was. I am ready, as Kiwian is playing SC2 Terran and MilkiCow now playing Brood War Terran. And if you're in the chat, predictions now open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Again, Kiwian already has a lead, already has an advantage, but there is a chance for MilkiCow to bring it back as we are opening up with a 3 racks. Oh my god. 3 racks set up here by MilkiCow, bearing in mind he does not know where his opponent is, bearing in mind they don't know where they are at all, as Kiwian is going out with his SCV Scout. Coming into this, I would favor Kiwian's Brood War Terran. His Brood War Terran is typically his stronger of his 2 races, more so than his SC2 Terran. And likewise, I'd say the inverse for MilkiCow. But regardless, we'll see. We'll see how they compare. Kiwian going for the SCV Scout. He will confirm that alas, MilkiCow is spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Does confirm no one to be found here towards the top side. And MilkiCow going for a 3 racks into Academy, into Stim. Now, for those that are maybe a little bit unfamiliar when it comes to Brood War, no add-ons. Or there are add-ons in Brood War, but they're a little bit more specialized, a little bit more niche. Instead, no tech lab here. You make the Academy, and from the Academy, you can, of course, you can gain access to Ghosts, to Firebats, to Medics, Stim, and the rest of your upgrades. So, no add-ons required. Because of this, what I will say is that this 3 racks hits hard. It hits very, very hard. Imagine a 3 racks or a 2-1-1 in SC2. And to get into Stim and to get into a bio push, it takes a long time. The reason why it takes a long time is because to get into medevacs, what do you need? You need a starport. You need to take up into a factory, into a starport, then into medevac production, and that delays the push a lot more. Here in Brood War, you do not need a starport. Already we have Marines massing, Stim is done, Firebats on the way, Medics as well. You already have supportive units. 3 racks in Brood War, they hit sooner, they hit harder, they hit faster as well. And here we go. It's pushing out across the map. Meanwhile, Kiwian setting up a proxy BC. He's crazy. Going for the fusion core, going for the starport. Proxy BC on the way from Kiwian. Meanwhile, MilkiCow just rallying across the map, sending everything he can. Firebat about to run into the Hellion. Oof. Volley goes off. Hellions, they can shut this down. Firebat taking a lot of hits. Taking a lot of hits so far. Does tank though. Does tank those shots. Kiwian setting up. Hellions, if they line up their shots, they can shut down these Marines at least. There's for Stim. Does Stim in, going for the add-on. Yeah, Reactor's going to be going down. Hellions are going to be sent away by the Firebats. That's Firebat can Stim as well. Yeah, can and will. Reactor goes down, knocking down the wall. Deeper's going to fall. And MilkiCow, he breaks into the natural. Does break in. Bunker is denied. He's going for the main base. He's going for the mineral line. Ooh, Kiwian, he supply blocks. And across the map, the BC is not being made. It's not being produced. And MilkiCow, can he end the game here and now? He's so close. The boys are being pulled. Ooh, into the Firebat though. There's a Stim. Firebat pulls away. Medevac does sustain it. And this is becoming crippling damage. It's becoming far too much. It looks like MilkiCow may have just done it. 17 SCV kills. Kiwian getting a little bit too excited, a little bit too frisky with that proxy. The BC is on the way, but it may not matter as everything is falling. All the SCVs, all the Marines. MilkiCow has done it. The BC can try to... I mean, we could try to go for a base trade, true. Yeah, there we go. We lift. The Great Migration has occurred, lifting every single building. 0 units left for Kiwian, except for the BC. Kiwian, he's hoping to win the game with purely 1 battlecruiser. Is that possible? It is possible. Is it likely though? Oh, the scan! He sees. He knows what's going on. Checks to the BC. Does come across it. MilkiCow, he knows turrets are on the way. Very important here. Quick reaction here by MilkiCow. Turrets being thrown down immediately. They still need time. And the BC is going to be the first to arrive. The battlecruiser has arrived. We can see here MilkiCow racing back home. He cannot destroy the buildings, but he has to defend against that battlecruiser. BC does dive in. More turrets on the way. Marines, they stim. They stim, and they win. The BC takes too many damage, too much hits. Too many hits, too much damage. Gonna be forced back down to less than half HP. Is in the dead space. But MilkiCow, he's bouncing back in this series. We're gonna be forced in the ace match. Again, Kiwian, too ambitious. GG gets called, and MilkiCow ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. Whew. Let us go. We're getting into game 3. The supply block ruined it all. The supply block was huge. Again, killing the depot, right? Remember, the depot at the wall was destroyed. With the depot going down, that meant that we had the supply block, of course. It was a brutal moment for Kiwian. And with that, just took so long for the BC to actually come online, to be a factor in that game. And with that, we're going all the way to the ace match. How will this story end? In a normal macro game, I do favor Kiwian, but that's not what we're getting here. At least that's not what we got last game. Kiwian being too cheeky. A little bit too cheeky there. And we'll see where this takes us. We'll see where this takes us. We'll see where this goes. Oh, as we are. As we're getting there. Marines from Brood War are so strong. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. I mean, they're also very fragile. We didn't get to see it, but I should give praise to MilkiCow. I should give praise to his unit control, specifically his Firebat movement. As we're getting into the ace match here. What I mean by that, Hellions can actually completely annihilate Marines. Give Kiwian 4 Hellions and he can one-shot. He can one-shot those Marines, he can completely shut them down. But if you remember, intentionally MilkiCow, he was microing his Firebats, he was intentionally zoning away the Hellions and protecting those Marines, as they never really got a proper Hellion volley off on that bio army. So that's why the Firebats, they kind of had their place there to protect the Marines. They did a great job at tanking, at zoning, at bringing it all together in the end. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Whew. We're getting to our next game. And as we were trying to emphasize as well, another reason why that 3-Rax is so powerful is because medics come online faster. Remember, as we were saying, you don't need to get a factory, you don't need to make a starport. There's all these steps that you have to get through to actually make any kind of medevacs to support your bio army. In Brood War, mate, Academy is all you need, and you can make those medics. So your support for the bio army comes that much faster for Brood War. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into the ace match. We're getting into game 3 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Troy. We have the StarCraft 2 Terran player, the red Terran for 3D Clan. It is MilkiCow. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brood War Terran player from South Korea. It is Kiwian. And welcome one and all to Troy. What is Troy? Troy is a 4-player map, and it's, I believe, one of the largest, if not the largest map in the map pool. I guess some of the island bases, some of the island maps could be a little bit larger, but very macro oriented. We have a very defendable natural, as there is a ramp coming into the natural, and MilkiCow, he'll be the first to scout and the first to confirm. SV rocks up, and he does get eyes on the positioning here of Kiwian. Kiwian going CC first. It is safe to go CC first because the chances of being scouted is quite low, but alas, MilkiCow is the first to get eyes on his opponent. Meanwhile, Kiwian has yet to scout. Kiwian, he's in the dark. For all he knows, his opponent could be on the right or on the left. I guess he may have gotten an eye on the kind of trajectory of the SCV, so he could try to determine from that. Otherwise, it's going to be a 2-Rax follow-up. Let's go. Meanwhile, MilkiCow back at home, just going for a CC first, taking his gases, and settling in. Now, another thing about this map, it isn't just that there's a narrow ramp coming into the natural, which makes it more defendable. On top of that, you have your own pocket island base. Here, there's a triangular third on the right, triangular third here on the right as well for both players, and there's no way to gain access to this base outside of drop play. Like, outside of coming in with a medevac drop, this space is very safe, and as a Terran player, you can quickly expand here by floating over your CC. So a very easy to take third base. The fourth base is going to be likewise an interesting one as well. It is also a pseudo island base, so there's a reason why we see a lot of late game on Troy. A lot of late game, as it can be difficult to punish these bases. Now, when I say pseudo island base, what do I mean by that? These gas geysers are a big factor. Now, the way that these gas geysers are positioned here, if the gas geyser is destroyed, I should say if the assimilator is destroyed, then it reveals the gas geyser underneath. Fun fact, the model of the gas geyser is larger than the model of the assimilator, so when the assimilator gets destroyed, it actually walls this area off. This area does get walled off by the gas geyser underneath. So you can intentionally just segment this area off here at this expansion, or even in between the bases. We have seen cheese, we have seen early rushes that prioritize on destroying these gas geysers, walling this area off, and then killing the main, and just like cutting the army off as well. Or I say rushes, doom drops. We've seen doom drops be successful in such a way where we got like we're maxed out, we go for like a massive doom drop into the main base, we destroy these gas geysers, and suddenly the main base is dead, because the ground army is just cut off from the main. We've seen that quite a bit, especially with Brutal Protoss struggling, as Brutal Protoss have no recall outside of the Arbiter. So if they have no Arbiters, there's no recall, they just die. We've seen a lot of Brutal Protoss die to Doom Drops because of that. And we've seen a lot of Zerg players actually die to that as well, yeah. Zerg players and Brutal Protoss. SE2 Protoss, of course, they can recall. And Terran can, of course, counter drop. For now, though, third CC on the way for MilkiCow, again looking to expand to that third location. We do see Kiwian moving out. Did expand behind this, is pushing, but last is a bunker. There's a tank. The natural should be pretty safe. And Sound does step in. Ooh, brutal tank shots. Yeah, he does face check. He does get met by the tank. And Kiwian is forced back. Again, there's no breaking this. Not anytime soon, I should say. So back at home, Kiwian, he's building up his bio, working on those upgrades. The rest of his racks as well. It's like 82mm of shells or something. It's the bio upgrade. It's on the way. So he's coming here into mass bio. Meanwhile, from the side of MilkiCow, likewise a 2-1-1 setup. 2-1-1, scan reveals no mech. No mech, which is important. Mech is viable for both players in TvT. As Reaper is shut down. Likewise, Siege Mode being researched here from our blue Terran. And a big power spike is going to arrive once we get into Ghost production. Like, Ghosts are so good and so fun in TvT, specifically from the Brood War side of things. I'm referring to Lockdown, and there it is. It's U238 shells. I'm never going to remember that. I'm just just something shells. But Ghosts are going to be a big factor. We have the science facility on the way. There we go. Science facility is in production. We see MilkiCow landing as third. It does float it over. And no third base yet from Kiwian. Oh, now getting on location, going for the center expansion, which is more exposed than the kind of pocket island base. Here we go. As we can see, MilkiCow now going to be dropping over to actually saturate the expansion. Getting into his own Raven production into Interference Matrix. Ravens likewise going to be a big factor. I mean, it's going to come down to the spellcasters, the Ravens, the science facilities. Sorry, science vessels. Irradiate is being researched. Let's go. Of course, Irradiate is almost like a parasitic bomb, but for ground units. And only affects biological units as well. I say for ground units. I guess you can target anything, really. But I should emphasize, it does only deal damage to biological units. So there are instances where you can irradiate your own like dropship or your own science vessel and then like dive in and just irradiate everything. So it is going to be a good counter to the bio army here of MilkiCow. Bearing in mind he is committing into bio tank, not going pure mech. Both players are still gearing up. Kiwian going for top right, sneaking out a ninja base. Let's go. Likewise, Kiwian also in position to scout any ninja bases of his opponent. He's in position. Science vessel poking forward. There's a scan.
Explorer reporting.
I'm sure looking for the buyer. As a radiate is done, is researched. Likewise, science vessel can also EMP. Speaking of, Raven's moving out. Oh, does go for the disable. And Kiwian caught with his pants down. Both tanks, they should fall. Takes out the science vessel. Oh my god, science vessel goes down as well. Yeah, Kiwian not paying attention at the wrong moment. We'll lose everything. Oh, a second science vessel goes down. Ay, ay, ay. And that might just be too much. That might just be game, to be honest. Like some brutal losses for Kiwian. Losing 2 tanks, 2 science vessels. Otherwise, preoccupied. And now MilkiCow coming in for the kill. See if he can break through. Pushing into the line of tanks. Ravens, they're moving in. Show us the disables. He gets 1. Just the 1 for now. We'll lose 2 Ravens in the process. Takes down one of the tanks. Moving forward. Oh, as he doesn't have vision. Yeah, tank goes down. Meanwhile, MilkiCow, he doesn't know. He has not scouted the bases. It's all the way over the 3rd or the 4th. Kiwian, he breaks out. Nice spread. Takes down the tanks. Yeah, there's the first irradiate. The radiate pops off, shuts down the bio. And Kiwian, he survives. Whew. Does survive. Does maintain his bases. Does maintain the 3rd. And soon the 4th as well. It's a very clutch fight there from Kiwian. MilkiCow going for his own drop. Dropping into the natural. Turrets are in position. I love that they still use the sound effects. Like, I love the sound effect of the turret. More so than the SE2 variation. Drops into the main base, catching out the production. And nice moves here by MilkiCow. Oh no! Takes down some of the bio, does not quite get the science vessel. Kiwian defends. Shuts down the army. Just shuts down the army, does move out. Cloak on the way. We're getting ready for the ghosts. We're getting ready. Likewise, MilkiCow establishing his own 4th base. Has a high working out, but does need that saturation. Does need that expansion. And the game, it is going to slow down here. MilkiCow moving out. He's got his own Ravens. More starports on the way. To make sure he ensures that air control. Oh, there goes the irradiate. Oh my god, it takes a while here to split. But does split in time. Very close. Was it wise to use 2 though? Again, the irradiates are limited. There we go. Lockdown is being researched. Ghost production has begun. Now, I believe Lockdown was nerfed in the latest patch. I will have to double check. But I believe they did adjust the lockdown. So as the armies are posturing, MilkiCow moving out. He does max. And here come the disables. Yeah, takes down 3 of those tanks. Oof. Did I say 3? Gets 4 tanks even. There's the irradiates. Oh, getting a lot of damage done. No splits out of MilkiCow. And yes, lockdown range was reduced from 10 to 9. So I was just confirming. So range is shorter. which will impact the power of the Ghost. As again, the brutal Ghosts, especially in TvT, they were insane. And they still are, I'm sure. Oh! Raven goes down. Ghost is still building up. Likewise does break out, looking down to those tanks. Oh, the Irradiate! Oh my god! So much damage! Ooh. Yeah, massive losses here. 2 massive clumps go down. Again, like, brutal spellcasters are so impactful here. You gotta respect it. You gotta respect the Irradiate, papi. Again, no splits there out of MilkiCow. So far, holding the line. Raven count down to 4 here for MilkiCow. Now, for those that are curious, Irradiates, the reason why it's a little bit more impactful on like your own unit to come in is Irradiate expires when it kills the unit that's on. So even though its duration can last longer, it will expire sooner on a Marine because the Marine doesn't have much HP. So there's also a factor coming into this. It is also why if you irradiate one of your own science vessels, for example, and dive in, then you can actually do more damage over time, depending on the circumstances, of course. Assuming it doesn't just get destroyed itself. I wonder, is the counterplay possible here where if your Marine gets irradiated and you just kill your own Marine, right? Like if you kill it yourself, that'd be a way to do it. Would be a way. Drop comes in, clutch on siege in time from Kiwian. MilkiCow, he does find top right. He's going for the base. Just now scouting. He's now aware. MilkiCow getting put out. He's caught out. Science also moving in. Oh, irradiating the medevac. Oh my god. Catching out some of the Marines. And Marines go down. Double jump coming in, knocking down those assimilators. He gets one, but only one. Oh my god, the choke point. Oh my god. He holds the line. He tries to at least trades very efficiently, but is forced out. It's going to be forced back. That's MilkiCow forcing friendly fire. Gets one tank. Gets the one tank. Drops off right. Nothing to defend. SCVs are going down. Kiwian out of position is being torn apart. Here comes the Master Sable. MilkiCow diving in. Alas, there's a wall of fire waiting for him. And does Kiwian commit? Not quite. Not yet. MilkiCow does outtrade though. Takes down the line of tanks, takes down the bio. Irradiate's coming in on the Raven, but the Raven's not the best option. I love the idea of irradiating a medevac, as medevacs they are just naturally over the bio army. Raven less so. I mean, there's barely any bio left. Kiwian scans, sees extra bases. Going for his own EMPs. Does EMP the science vessels. You see the Irradiate is still going on, like it lasts so long. Nice knockdowns. Locks down the libs. Gets one. Just the one. Oh no, gets both actually. Both Liberators go down. Oh, missile on the bio. Second missile popping up. Kiwian being zoned away. He's getting to triple BC production. Let's go. BCs are building up. Now, there was a massive rework with the BC in the latest patch. It's too much to get into, but in general, the BC was improved, was buffed, just because the brutal BC was considered to be just weaker in general. So it has been improved. Ooh, tank boys going up. Nice EMP as well. A lot of damage dealt here to Kiwian. He's trying to keep up with the bio movements. That will expose his tanks, though. Yeah, tanks are exposed. MilkiCow just pulling Kiwian apart. Does dive in. Disables 4 tanks. And Kiwian out of position. And where does he go from here? He's going for a counterattack. He's going for the fringe bases. And we commit to a base trade. Let's go! MilkiCow pushing up the ramp. BC's in race back to the main. And they try to race back. Mass disable here. BC's get disabled. They're going to be cleaned up. Oh, we do see Kiwian racing back home. Shuts down the reinforcements. Oh my god, trying to stem off the ramp. It's not going to be easy. No, the miscontrol. Oh my god. Okay, dust him in. Gets one, gets two. He's going to get all four. TranKy gets reset. Nice lockdowns with the way army just came to production. Is in the main. Now dropping over. And again, the Brutal Terranari is that much more immobile. Like, there's no dropships. No dropships. Nice to radiate, though. BC's coming in. Oh. The disables are brutal. And the BCs will defend. Dropping over the third. Dropping over the center expansion. But the BCs are tankier. So quickly just glossing over the patch here for the BCs is that they have increased HP and they have increased armor as well. So they're just beefier in general, as they were very fragile. Likewise, damage output was increased, damage range was increased as well. Just overall buffs across the board for the BCs. But that's going to be a dead expansion. 34 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. And Kiwian, he has to counterattack, but he has half the supply. And this time the supply is not lying. It's not lying, Pappy. Nice lockdowns. Catches two tanks. Likewise, floating in. Getting another tank. Uh-oh. There's one tank. Sorry, two tanks left. Two tanks remaining. There is Yamato. Our first BC goes down. Army comes in from behind, coming in with those disables. Yeah, there's 3 BCs left. They can actually attack. And we try to counter lockdown. Try to. And Kiwian, he's breaking through. He's trading well for himself. Takes down the Bio, takes down the Marines, takes down the Ghost, the Ravens as well. Again, the new and improved BC. They're actually pretty good. Actually pretty damn good. As MilkiCow, he's struggling here. But we do need some repairs though. We do need some repairs. The BC is getting very low. Marines are coming for the dive. They get one. One BC goes down. There's 3 left. 3 BCs remaining. Up, up, down to 2. Yeah, barely down to 2 BCs. But you can see the power with these BCs here, getting so much ground. There's a planetary in the main. What the hell? Okay. Planetary in the main base. Another BC falls down to 1. Oh, back up to 2. Yeah, but that's so low here. And they get shut down. MilkiCow, he barely holds on. He barely survives. Shout out to the planetary. And GG gets called. MilkiCow, he will weather the storm. He will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. Oh my god, the cow popped off. GG, well played. MilkiCow will claim the series. A very, very intense final game. Very, very back and forth. There were opportunities for both players, definitely, and it was great to see the new and improved BC. Again, there was a patch a couple of days ago for StarCraft Evolution, and the BC now has more HP, more armor, does more damage, just does more auto attack damage, I should say. And likewise, it also has extended range as well than it used to. So all across the board was buffed, except for the Yamato. I believe the Yamato was nerfed. Yeah, Yamato the Yamato now does less damage than it used to. But I think that was like the only real nerf. Oh, and it was also made slower as well. Was made slower. But with that, GG. GG, well played. Whew. MilkiCow will take the series, will advance on into the next round, and the question becomes, who will face off against him? We know it. We know the answer. Spirit. It's going to be another TvP. Sorry, TvT. Going to be another Terran versus Terran.